This is the Kind of Pain Sports Show, episode 3. I don't know why I always do this. It's a thing. This is more of a discussion video, really, because it's the question of, does a ring really matter? I think there are a lot of quarterbacks who have never won a Super Bowl ring. Randall Cunningham, Jim Kelly, Fran Tarkenton, Dan Marino, Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb. The list goes on, really. And then there are some quarterbacks like Joe Flacco just last year who have won a Super Bowl ring and are not that good. Okay, they're not that good. And in some circumstances, like in a David Carr circumstance or a Joey Harrington circumstance, they would have not even made it to like their 8th year in the league. Most notably, Brad Johnson. He won in 2003 with the Bucks. Trent Dilfer, that's probably the big one that everybody talks about. Trent Dilfer and Terry Bradshaw are probably the big ones everybody talks about. Yeah, and then you compare the stats; they're uncomparable. They are. Trent Dilfer to Dan Marino, who's widely regarded as the best quarterback to have never won it, probably the best player to have never won a Super Bowl. You look at the stats: completion percentage 55.5 to 59.4 for Marino. So that's not that big of a difference. But then you look at the QBR: 70.2 for Trent Dilfer, and then 86.4 for Dan Marino. Not amazing. Alright, but then you look at 20,518 total yards compared to 61,361 total yards. Yeah, that's over triple more yards for Dan Marino than Trent Dilfer. Dan Marino's a 9-time Pro Bowler. Trent Dilfer made it to the big dance once as a Pro Bowler. Stat that really jumps out at me: 420 touchdowns, 252 interceptions. For Dan Marino. It's 168 more touchdowns than interceptions. Trent Dilfer, 113 touchdowns, 129 interceptions. That is a difference of 16 more interceptions than touchdowns for Trent Dilfer. I think there is, without a doubt, too much hype given to the Super Bowl winning quarterback. It happened last year, and it's really upset me. And if the Seahawks win, it'll happen again this year with Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson is nowhere near as good as the Tom Brady, the Drew Brees, the Aaron Rodgers, and the Peyton Manning. But I promise you this. Okay, I promise you this. Every time someone says who's the top 5 quarterbacks, those 4 are mentioned, and the last one's a debate. I promise you this. If the Seahawks win on Sunday, Monday, Russell Wilson will be number 5. It's guaranteed. It's a guarantee. Even though this year was Phillip Rivers, and Matt Ryan's good, Matt Stafford may be better than Russell Wilson on his good days. All right, there are Colin Kaepernick in his own division, Carson Palmer in his own division are better than Russell Wilson. So what I'm just trying to say, I don't think Super Bowl rings are that important. Terry Bradshaw had 4 Super Bowl rings. Okay, here's a guy, a completion percentage of 51.9%. That means that in 20 pass plays, 10 of them are hitting the ground. 10 of them are going to... And they're not getting dropped because he had Hall of Fame receivers. They're not getting dropped. They're hitting the ground because he's overthrown, he's underthrown, I don't know. Okay? He had 212 touchdowns with 210 interceptions. That is 2 more touchdowns than interceptions. That is not a Hall of Famer's touchdown to interception ratio. If you take the ring from Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Flacco, even though he's not retired, so that doesn't matter. Take the ring from those 3 players. And 2 of them aren't even Hall of Famers. But take the ring from Terry Bradshaw, which that's a lot. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Give a ring to some of the guys who won't make the Hall of Fame, like Donovan McNabb won't make the Hall of Fame, but if he beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, he would have. Okay? Give a ring to Dan Marino, and people start talking about him being better than Joe Montana, than John Elway. So I think we put too much on it. I do. I think we put too much... too much hype, too much emphasis on winning a Super Bowl. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. So maybe like a response video to directly do that, or just write in the comment section. Subscribe to my videos to watch my Super Bowl pick. Click the like, click the dislike. But really what I want you to do, I want you to just say your opinion. Do you think Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino? Do you think Terry Bradshaw is better than Dan Marino? Do you think Trent Dilfer is better than Jim Kelly? Just questions like that. How much do you put on a Super Bowl ring? How much does the ring matter?